Hello everyone, I'm Sonak Roy and I welcome you to our channel Team Edify. In this video today, we will discuss about India's number one NBFC, Bajaj Finance. How did Bajaj Finance create a monopoly in the lending industry? How are they able to sustain that monopoly? To know details about the company, watch this video till the end. The enigma is set for another transformation. Over the past decade, that is financial year 2011 to 2021, the growth in Bajaj Finance has been phenomenal. The loan book grew at a CAGR of 35%, profit after tax at a CAGR of 33%, with an average return on equity of 20% per annum. During this period, the credit growth in the Indian banking sector has been just at 10% per annum. Bajaj Finance's success has been underpinned not just by its unique use of technology, but also by access to low cost of funding. Bajaj Finance has transformed itself from being largely a captive vehicle financer to India's most diversified NBFC, which now offers over 40 lending products and has established housing finance and broking subsidiaries, simplifying Bajaj Finance's existing business model. Bajaj Finance's consumer financing proposition is a win-win-win proposition. Bajaj Finance is India's largest consumer durable financer and finances more than 70% of all consumer durables financed in India. Bajaj Finance's mainstay is no-cost EMIs, where a consumer who buys a TV, air conditioner or a fridge is offered a 0% EMI with no or minimal processing. Now let us understand how Bajaj Finance makes money when a consumer buys a television or any other product on 0% EMI. In such a transaction, Bajaj Finance pays the manufacturer an upfront amount, while it collects EMIs from the customer over the tenure of the loan. Now let us understand this in details through the table given below. Let us take example of a television which is sold at a price of 50,000 rupees by the retailer. So the MRP of the TV is 50,000, but the retailer provides discount to Bajaj Finance because it is paying an upfront amount. The discount comes to around 5%, which is 2,500 rupees. So the upfront amount is reduced from 50,000 to 47,500 rupees. Further, the EMI processing fees charged by Bajaj Finance to be paid by the customer upfront is Rs 400. The number of EMIs decided to be paid by the customer is 6. When you divide the amount by 50,000, it comes to 8,333. Therefore, Bajaj Finance's monthly return, a cash flow based on IRR calculation, comes to around 1.7%, whereas Bajaj Finance's annual return comes to around 20.18%, which is without compounding. So here we see how Bajaj Finance is earning, how the customer is being not pinched much, and the retailer is also making a profit. How? Let us understand in details further. Such a transaction is a win-win-win for the customer, the manufacturer, and for Bajaj Finance. Let us understand how. The customer is able to pay for the product of his choice over a period of 6 months at 0 or a minimal additional cost. The manufacturer is able to increase the inventory turnover for the retailers by offering 0% EMI schemes. The 5% discount offered by the manufacturer in the above example is a marketing expense for the manufacturer. There is also a likelihood of the customer making a higher value purchase. For Bajaj Finance, in this process, is able to make a 20% plus yield on loans to affluent Indians. In addition to making money on the first loan, Bajaj Finance is also able to get more data on these customers by taking minimal risk, as these are 6 months loans with relatively small ticket size. The consumer financing business is Bajaj Finance's customer acquisition funnel. Bajaj Finance already moves about 30% of the electronics, 15% of the smartphones, and 10% of organized furniture sold in India. This financing construct provides Bajaj Finance with massive amount of customer data, which is used to filter out the good customers from the bad and take a call on what sort of product should be offered to which customer. Bajaj Finance's business model is a virtuous loop that runs on data-led agile execution. Let us understand this. Use of proprietary data and algorithms to identify creditworthiness of customers, and then acquire creditworthy customers by offering small ticket consumer financing. Monitor repayment behavior of small ticket loans. Cross-sell larger ticket loans to non-delinquent customers. Get more data on customer behavior and repayment patterns. This is how the loop forms. Bajaj Finance's win-win-win proposition has created a massive customer franchisee. Now let us understand, why is it difficult to break Bajaj Finance's monopoly? The first point is geographical presence. A manufacturer such as Samsung, LG, Sony, etc. would want to deal with a consumer financier which has widest geographical presence, so that all of its retail touchpoints are able to benefit from the sales boost of a 0% EMI scheme. Second is ability to approve a large proportion of loans. The retailer or manufacturer would also want the financier to approve a large percentage of loans at a high velocity so as to convert customer footfall in their stores to actual sales. A conservative financier with a high loan rejection rate would not be preferred by retailer or a manufacturer. Bajaj Finance offers the highest approval rate because it is focused on customers' overall wallet share and does not look at the consumer durable loan in isolation. Once Bajaj Finance acquires the customer, it is able to sell multiple other products to the customer. Bajaj Finance's extensive database allows it to access underwriting analytics on prospective borrowers faster and make underwriting decisions faster than any other NBFC. The third point, collection infrastructure to collect small ticket loans. Over 25% of Bajaj Finance's staff, over 25,000 employees, is in the collection team. These employees in turn work with hundreds of collection agencies across India. And the fourth point, ground level execution and meritocratic culture is very hard to replicate. Now let us understand Bajaj Finance's business transformation phase 2. The key theme is to create an app-based omni-channel ecosystem which will provide flexibility to customers. In November 2019, in one of its long-range planning sessions, Bajaj Finance has envisaged that it will take about 4 years to build a complete app-based ecosystem. While the pandemic year put pressure on asset quality and slowed down disbursals, Bajaj Finance's proactive management team saw this as an opportunity to accelerate its business transformation agenda. What was initially envisaged as a 4-year transformation journey has been significantly accelerated and is now likely to be implemented in phases between July 2021 and October 2021. The key theme again is to create an app-based omni-channel ecosystem which will provide flexibility to its customers. Now let us understand how will the business transformation help Bajaj Finance. While Bajaj Finance's revamped consumer-facing app will be launched later this year, we have learned the following from the channel checks and company's public disclosures about the app's functionality, the user interface and what it is seeking to achieve. The app will consist of 5 different marketplaces that will be hosted on a single platform, thereby enabling customers to review, compare and buy a host of products and services across electronics, insurance, investment and health categories. The 5 screens visible to the users after they log in to the app are the EMI store, the insurance marketplace, the investment marketplace, Bajaj Finance Limited Health, and the broking app. In addition to these 5 marketplaces, customers will be able to check out with Bajaj Pay, which will offer all modes of payment including its EMI card, QR code, UPI, etc. Now let us understand how will Bajaj Finance compete with other fintech players. Penetration of smartphones, growing number of internet users, availability of data due to multiple credit bureaus and easy access to capital have led to the advent of multiple fintech players in the past few years. The fintech landscape in India is spread over numerous businesses including retail lending, insurance, brokerage and wealth management, payment wallets, etc. And the 5-in-1 application that Bajaj Finance is coming up with will compete with multiple fintech players in these spaces. However, Bajaj Finance will not be going down the path that other fintech players have taken because it has a unique customer acquisition model. Unlike most other fintech players which spend large amount of money on customer acquisition and make money on the customer only after the customer transacts with them 2 to 3 times, Bajaj Finance acquires customers through its consumer durable financing businesses, and rather than spending money on the customer acquisition, it makes money the first time a customer transacts with Bajaj Finance. Bajaj Finance's app has already seen 14 million downloads, of which there are 8 million active users. Wallet business. Paytm's ecosystem covers Paytm's wallet and UPI, merchant acquiring credit savings, wealth management and insurance with an active user base of 50 million and 20 million plus merchant base. Over the last 4 years, that is financial year 18 to 21, Paytm has spent over 6,500 crores on promotional activities to generate a cumulative revenue of rupees 12,400 crores. The gross transaction value on Paytm's application has grown at a CAGR of 68%, and active users have grown at a CAGR of 24% from financial year 18 to 21. However, the revenue has remained flat from financial year 18 to 20 and dropped in the year 21. On the other hand, Bajaj Finance has seen its OPEX to net interest income drop from 40% in the year financial year 18 to 31% in financial year 21. Even though its customer franchisee doubled to 49 million customers and net interest income grew at a 28% CAGR during this period. Because Bajaj Finance already has 49 million customers, a cost-effective customer acquisition engine, and 8 million active app customers, Its app-based architecture is a much more effective way of engaging customers and mining the wallet share of these customers. Broking business. Bajaj Finance incubated Bajaj Securities, its broking business, in December 2019. This business has three parts: loan against securities, margin trade financing for HNIs, and discount broking. It is aiming to build a dominant broking business in India over the next 3 to 5 years. Out of Bajaj Finance's 120 million prospective customers, 8 million are KRA certified and will be able to open a broking account on Bajaj Finance's new app with one click. Bajaj Securities is currently opening around 20 to 25,000 accounts a month. Bajaj Securities can become a 1 lakh new broking account a month business by December. Insurance Marketplace. Today, a customer can visit Bajaj Finance website and buy from a variety of 500 pocket insurance products. There are 40,000 customers who purchase pocket insurance from Bajaj Finance every month. This number can increase exponentially as with the new app, customers will be able to buy these products with a click of a button. Annually, gross written premiums of over $700 million is driven by insurtech companies against a traditional industry size of $77 billion life insurance premium. This can therefore become another large foot profit pool where Bajaj Finance will be competing with Policybazaar, which has a 90% market share in third-party online insurance. This was a detailed analysis about Bajaj Finance. I hope you found this video informative. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe and share it with your friends so that everyone can benefit from this. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll take your leave today till we meet next again. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.